guys, it's Richard with Rich Made Knives, and I'm doing a video today on the Grimsmo Saga titanium pen that I picked up at Blade Show 2018. The purpose for the video today is I am going to anodize this pen, some different colors, and I thought it might be an interesting video for some folks who might want to know how to do this type of stuff. So the pen that I picked up, so Grimsmo was doing a lottery at Blade Show. I understand he had about 30 pens and he did a lottery drawing for them. And so I was lucky enough to get my name pulled in the lottery and pick up one of his Saga pens. This one is number 18, which is very nice because my birthday is on the 18th, so worked out well. This one is all just natural tumbled titanium, so there's no color in it at all. But because it's titanium, it's very easy to anodize, and it comes apart very easily. So I figured would have some fun with doing some anodization on this. And the way that it works is you push this down, and then you pull this little ring back to release the ink, to open and close the ink. So my thought is this actually comes apart in different pieces. So let me take it apart and then I'll show you what I was thinking. So we can just unscrew the front part here, and that will release the cartridge and the spring inside. And so then we have this little piece here, which is solid titanium, and then this part unscrews as well. This top comes off, and this is a solid titanium tube here in the middle, and then this pocket clip comes off, and that's a solid titanium pocket clip, and then this top part is where the mechanism is. And other than this little ring here on the outside, this is all steel, so it won't anodize. But I don't want to take this apart because I talked to John and he was saying that getting this apart and back together is no picnic. So I'm not planning on anodizing this little titanium ring. I'm just going to leave that as it was. So these are the three parts. I'll move this stuff aside here. So these are the three parts that we're going to anodize. So it'll be the tip, the center tube, and the pocket clip. And so what my thought is I'm going to do this tip in blue. I'm going to do the pocket clip in blue, and then I'm going to do this tube. What my plan is, and we'll see how it comes out. You guys will see what the end result is. My plan is I'm going to anodize this blue, then I'm going to throw this tube into my tumbler and tumble away a good part of the blue color, and then I'm going to anodize it a dark bronze copper. So it'll be dark bronze copper with just a little bit of blue mixed in. So I think that that's going to look pretty cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Windex. I'm going to clean these parts up really well, and then I'm going to move them over to the Anode Tank. So I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm going to clean up these parts with some Windex, and then I will meet you guys back over at the Anode Tank. Okay guys, so we're over at the Anode Tank. We've got the cleaned up and ready to go cap for the pen, and this is my Anode Tank right here. This Anode Tank contains distilled water with a mixture of battery acid, and then this is my anode power supply. So flip this on. You can see I'm at 25 volts, not really pulling any current right now. And then the way that the Anode Tank works is you have a positive and a negative. So on the negative side here, we have this big old piece of titanium. And then on this side over here, on the positive side, we have a small piece of titanium that I made into a little shelf down there to put the parts on. So that's where I'll be putting the part that gets anodized. And since that is very mild battery acid, I will be wearing rubber gloves to protect my hand. So I'll put my rubber glove on. I will grab the little part here, and as soon as I set it down onto this shelf, it will turn blue. So let's go ahead and get the camera right above the little shelf right there, and here we go. And if you can get a little closer in there, you can see that we have a blue tip. Yep, great. Okay, yep, go ahead and back out. Let me grab that. And there we go. So what I'm going to do now, you can go ahead and follow me over with the camera. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to rinse this tip in some water, what I use for rinsing water. The water's green here because it has simple green mixed in, which is a little trick that we knife makers use to stop steel from rusting. You just mix a little bit of simple green in with your water. So what that did there is that just got the battery acid, just kind of washed the battery acid off the part. So now that the part is all cleaned with just regular some simple green and mixed with water. So there's the tip, all nice and blue, ready. That's all finished. Okay. So now I'm going to grab the pocket clip, and you want to come back over here and watch me here. I'm going to grab the pocket clip. I'm going to spray the pocket clip with some Windex and just give it a little bit of a scrub there. So clean up. Just get any finger oil. You don't want any finger oil on the titanium, or it could show up in your final anode part. So I'll put my glove back on again. Grab the pocket clip. And don't touch it with your fingers to get any fingerprints. We're going to take the part over and we're going to put that in the tank as well. We're going to do a blue on this one. Okay, here we go. And here we go. Whoop, we almost fell off the shelf. But that's okay. It's hanging on. And you'll see it's blue. Okay. Grab that. Of course, I dropped it to the bottom of the tank, but that's okay. There we go. Got me? Okay, here's our blue pocket clip. Come over here and rinse this in the water as well. That all nice and clean. And there is our blue pocket clip. You got it? There's our blue pocket clip. Okay. Put that over here. Now we are ready to do the tube, the center tube. We're gonna blue this before we throw it into my tumbler. So we'll put some Windex on there. Get that all nice and clean. Okay, get our safety glove on, grab our tube and follow me on back over to the anode tank. Okay, there we go. We're going to set this tube down on there, same, still at 25 volts. Got it? Sure we got that blue. Hold all the voltage. So one of the things I'm going to do here is to give it just to make sure I didn't get any loss of voltage off of this plate for this bigger piece. I'm going to clip this this lead directly to the piece like this. You got that? And then I'm just gonna dip that. I'm going to flip this around, do the other side, just to make sure that we got a good transfer of voltage there. So yeah, it looks nice and blue now, as you can see. Okay, turn off the power supply. Take this piece over to my clean water. That all nice and clean. And now we have all blue. Everything's blue. All the parts are blue. Now this is going in the tumbler, and it's not going to take very long to get anodization when you throw it in with ceramic media. It wears it away very, very quickly. So we probably only need maybe somewhere in the range of like 5 to 15 minutes. So follow me over to the tumbler. Okay guys, so we've got our blue tube for the pen, and we're going to tumble it in my tumbler. So we're going to grab one of my media tumblers here, and go ahead and take a look and show it here on the video what's in here. So inside of here are ceramic media, and it's green because again it has simple green mixed with water, but it won't do any, work fine for, this is titanium. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick that tube in there like that. Okay, go ahead and back out the video, and then we're going to put the lid on this thing. This is a watertight seal that this makes with this rubber gasket, and then you put this lid on here. Screw down these little thumb screws here. That makes it watertight. Okay, now go ahead and back up so they can see this. So this is my tumbler down here. So this will go on here like this. Turn this on. And there it goes. It is tumbling. So we're going to let that run for about 10 minutes. And then I'll check it and see how much of the blue has been removed. Come back on the video and show it to you. So it's been tumbling for about 10 minutes. So I don't know if we're going to need to tumble it a little bit more, but well, you guys will get to see on camera what the results are from 10 minutes of tumbling. I really don't want to have a whole lot of blue left, just a little bit of blue. I want it to be more bronze than blue, or more copper than blue. So we may have to check it and start it again. I don't need gloves because the only thing that's in this tumbler is water mixed with simple green. That foam you see is because of the simple green. It'll dissipate slowly, but we can just reach our hand in there and find the part, hopefully. There it is. Okay, follow me over to the clean water. Well, I think it tumbled a lot more than I expected in 10 minutes. I don't think there's any blue left. So we're probably going to need an anode blue again, and only do it for like maybe a minute or two. But I don't see any more blue on the handle. Okay guys, so 10 minutes and my tumbler just completely removed the blue. Look at that. There's no blue left, right? Yeah, my wife who's holding the camera agrees with me. The blue's gone. Okay, so let's anode again. And this time we will, what did I do with my glove? This time I will only tumble it for a minute or two. That's what's the beauty of tumbling, of anoing, is you can just anode again. No big deal. So I had already had the power supply set for the 12 volts, which was bronze, so I got to go back to blue, which is 25. So We'll adjust the voltage up to 25 again. 23, 24, just a bit past. Okay, so we're back to 25 volts, so get back in here, we'll do the tank. It would help if I connected the positive lead. There we go. Give it a little bit of shake. And it looks like we got blue. Turn it off. Take that out. Clean water. And we're back to blue. All right, so I'm going to put it in the tumbler for this time for maybe, we'll try like 2 minutes and see what we get, okay? So we'll come back over here to the tumbler. And you can see that the suds are already going down from the simple green. So we're just going to toss that back in there. Put the lid back on, and so 10 minutes completely removed the blue, and that's probably because it's a tube as opposed to a flat slab, which is what I'm usually tumbling. I think it resulted in it being a bit more aggressive than I expected. So we're going to do just a couple of minutes here instead of 10. We'll do just a couple. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So we tumbled for another 2 minutes. See what we got here. Oh yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's go over to the clean water, clean it off. All right, so we have some nice tumbled blue there. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to anode bronze or dark bronze. And if there's still too much blue, then I can tumble it again and keep going more bronze, until I'm happy with the result. So I'm going to come over, take this thing over to the anode tank. I've got the tank set to the power supply set to 12 volts. So you want to show that there. We got just a speck more. So we got the power supply set to 12 volts. We got our tumbled blue tube. And come on in here, and we are going to anode this. We're going to give it some bronze color. Okay. All right, clean water. All right, so that is the current state of our combo blue and bronze. That's what it looks like as of now. So I'm going to put this in the tumbler for 1 minute increments until I get it to be a darker bronze color. I'm not going to film all that because that'll be, that could take me a few passes to get it to the dark bronze that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to keep tumbling bronze, tumbling bronze, tumbling bronze until I get it to where it's mostly bronze and very little left of the blue. So I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to tumble this again, anode it again for however many times I need to get this to the dark bronze color that I'm looking for, and then I will be back. tube was tumbling, I got the idea that it would be really cool to highlight the Grimsmo logo on the tip here, and the writing that they have on this where it says Saga. It says Saga 0018. So what I did was I anodized the tip gold, which is 60 volts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this in the tumbler, and then I'm going to anodize this gold as well. I'm going to throw both of these in the tumbler, and I'm going to tumble them until the gold completely disappears. But what should happen, and what I'm hoping is going to happen, is that the stones are not going to be able to get inside the little engraving. So we will end up with a gold logo, and then I will re-anodize the rest of this blue. So my hope and my goal is to end up with a tip that is blue but has a gold logo, and a pocket clip that is blue but has gold writing where it says Saga 0018. So that's the idea. We will see if that turns out to be the result. So that's what I'm working on while the tube is tumbling some more. So here's the gold parts before I tumbled them. I'm going to tumble these and try to remove all the gold, or almost all the gold, and then I'm going to go with a blue anode. So these are going in the tumbler, and probably leave those in there for a good 15-20 minutes. And hopefully the gold will stay inside the little writing area. That's the idea anyway. So far on the idea that I had to have the logo gold and the tip blue. I'm going to tumble it a little bit longer, see if I can get rid of a little bit more of the gold, bring out a little bit more blue after I anode. One little tip, guys, use some duct tape in your before you put it in the tumbler to protect the threads, because you don't want to risk dulling out the threads, especially with ceramic stones. So I have the top wrapped in duct tape so that the threads don't get dulled out from the ceramic, but that's what it's looking like so far. And I'm going to tumble it for probably another 10 minutes, remove a little bit more of the gold, because there's still a little bit of gold visible in the body, which I think still looks pretty cool, but I don't mind if there's a little bit of gold visible, but I'm going to go ahead and tumble it a little bit longer. So here's where we are, guys. We have a blue tip, and the logos are gold. And that was done by making the entire tip gold and then tumbling it for about an hour. And the stones are not able to get into the engraving. And then here is the pocket clip, which is the same idea. Only issue with the pocket clip is up around the top here, it wasn't able to remove all the gold, because it's, you know, the stones have a hard time getting into that little area there, and there's a little bit of milling work in the tip there, in this ring, I mean, that is retaining some of the gold as well. But I think if I throw the pocket clip in the tumbler, maybe just leave it in there overnight, it'll get rid of a lot more of the gold. And then I can just anode it blue. I can do another blue anode, and that, I expect that won't, even if I leave it in overnight, the logo will still be gold, and the Saga 0018 will still be gold. And then I did the body in just a straight bronze. I'm debating whether to just make the body blue. I think it would look really sharp in all blue with the gold highlights. So I'm not sure about that yet. My wife actually suggested that she thought the entire pen being bronze would look really nice. But I think that the blue and the gold really pop. So I like it. So my thought is right now I'm just going to toss the pocket clip back into the tumbler, and I'll let it go for probably a good 4 or 5 hours and check it. And if it still has some of this gold left in the top and in the corners, I'll just leave it overnight, let it tumble overnight, and check it in the morning, and then re-enter it blue. And then I'll debate whether or not I want to do the body in blue at some point later, but otherwise that's pretty much where I wanted it, kind of the idea that I was after. I was going to do a two-tone, if you recall, a two-tone kind of blue bronze on the handle, but on the body, but because of the way that this tumbles, because it's so smooth, this titanium is so smooth, it doesn't get that speckled look. I mean, I think I probably could get the speckled look, but I'd have to hand tumble it with some really aggressive media, and I really don't want to risk any damage to the body. So I'm either going to leave it bronze like it is now, or I'll do the body in blue and just have it to be all blue with the gold highlights and the silver fidget mechanism here on the top that you use to work the pen. But that just came out so cool. So that's the progress so far, and I will come back with an update, ending video to the video showing the final result. Hey guys, it's Richard with Rich Made Knives, and this is the final video on the custom anodization of the Grimsmo Saga pen. So sorry for all of the different iterations I went through in the videos, but you kind of saw, yeah, that's some of the issues I went through. Is I wasn't happy with the color of the body when I tried to do multicolor blue and bronze, so I had to start over again, tumble it to get rid of the color, and it just it didn't end up in a place where I was happy with any of the blue and bronze combos. So after playing around with all kinds of different color combinations, this is what I've settled upon as my favorite. So what I did was the body is dark. It looks kind of almost a brown, but it's a dark copper. This is a 12-volt anode, and the highlights, the engravings are gold, and that was at 60 volts. So you'll notice that all of the Grimsmo logos are gold. There's a little gold band at the bottom of the cap. The body is 12-volt bronze. The cap was done in gold and then tumbled to remove a lot of the gold so that the just the engravings would stay. And you can still see just a little bit of gold in here, just because that's it's kind of a little indentation of from the CNC mill there, but I think it came out pretty well. And then I got bold this morning and I decided to take this assembly apart here, because this outer ring right here is titanium, and I wanted that to be gold to pull the gold theme through to the top. So I took this apart, and let me tell you, it was no picnic. I did not know that there were 3 ceramic detent balls in little holder holes inside of here. So one of the balls fell out, all 3 came out, and one of them, I don't know what the heck happened to it, but it disappeared on me. And luckily, John and Eric are using 1/16 inch ceramic detent balls, which, because I'm a knife maker, I have them. So luckily, even though I lost one, I've got plenty more. And I have them in ceramic as well, so it worked out that I had no issue there. And then getting it back together again was a little tricky because I didn't know how to do it, and holding those balls in place while you put the sleeve over them was a little bit of a, like, you needed 3 hands in order to do it, but I kind of got it figured out. And then getting the C-clip back in, there's a little C-clip underneath here that holds a compression spring. That was a little tricky as well, but I figured that out. This center part right here is steel, so the only way you could really anodize that would be to flame it. And so I just went ahead and left it. I really didn't want to flame this. But there's the result. I have a copper pen with gold highlights for the serial number. It says Saga, and then if you look underneath here, it's gold in there. Gold underneath where it says Grimsmo. I think it says Grimsmo Knives 2018. And then this ring here, which is titanium, is anodized copper, and it's nice and shiny because I didn't tumble it. That's the natural way it came. So I think that having the shiny copper ring at the top is pretty darn cool. So overall, I'm very happy with the way that this came out. All these parts here were tumbled for probably about 8 hours in my tumbler, so it feels buttery smooth now. And you can see kind of the little tumbling effects coming through there. And it's a little darker because when you anodize, especially with electro-ano, when you put your finger oils on it, it gets darker. So it's not quite as dark as this in real life, but when you get it, you get your finger oil all over it, it gets nice and dark like this. So that's the saga of the Saga pen, and my desire to customize mine just a little bit. And I think it looks fantastic. I'm very happy, and not planning to mess with this anymore. It's going to stay this way. So that is, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was an adventure, more work than I expected, as you know, a lot of times things are. But overall, very satisfied with the result, and very satisfied with the fact that I learned how this whole assembly inside of here is done, and how I can, now if I wanted to take this apart again, I wouldn't have any hesitation on being able to do it and know what to expect and how to get it back together again. So that turned out to be a good thing. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and more videos to come. But the Grimsmo Saga pen number 18 custom anode.